So for anyone who is new to this concept or wondering like, what in the world is vibe coding? It's basically where you're able to just use your words and information that you have to quickly create an app or a landing page. And the tool that I love is using a tool called Base44. And so I'm going to share my screen and just show you a little bit about some of the magic that we're able to do with this tool. Uh, And so this is the complete site that I built by using Base44. And this was another one that I had done for the Vibe Coding Build-a-thon. And I am going to show you what it's like to be able to quickly create a landing page because my goal was really to show if you have a landing page and you connect it with HighLevel, like the power of being able to just quickly create a workshop or a product, whatever you want. If you go to this tab that says Vibe Coding Tool, it has a link to Base44, and that will allow you to be able to utilize that tool. So if you say ready to start building, that's going to be here. And then if you're interested, I also put a link here. If you don't have a HighLevel account and you want to know more about that, I added that here. For Base44, what I wanted to show you today was how quickly it is to create a landing page. So literally in minutes before this workshop, actually, I was like, hey, you know what? I don't have a landing page for my Base44 account, for my HighLevel account. So I was like, I'm going to create that. And you can just pop in. You can see it's not amazing yet, but it's super easy and has just like the formatting there. So I'm going to show you what I like to do is use ChatGPT and I use a sales page kind of formatter where I paste in my ideas and then copy and paste that over into Base44. And Sandra, I know you have used it before, but if there's anyone who is able to see on Facebook, if you could drop it in the chat, if you have used Base44, if you've experimented with it. I know Lauren's watching from Facebook, and she has actually just created an amazing app to help her with her ads campaigns that she does. And so that's super cool. So if you've used it, let us know in the chat if you've tried it before. But I just want to kind of give an overview. So I'm going to go back to workspaces, and this is kind of where you start out, and there's all kinds down at the bottom. These are the different apps that I've created. Okay. And it's literally just as simple as pasting in the text right here of what you want to create. I'm going to practice with you today, and I'm going to show you one of the custom GPTs. So I have used, and I'll share all of these links later, but a custom sales page generator. And I thought, what better way to model this than to highlight something that I'm actually going to use? So I'm going to create a sales page for my upcoming workshop, which is going to be how to create content in 30 days or less. And so I'm going to pull this up here. Oh, that's a graphic. We don't want that yet. I had way too much fun playing with all of these graphics. Okay, so this is just like some general information to help me get started. So I'm making a landing page, and here is the content that I want to put on it. This particular GPT helps me, and I know everybody has all kinds of different GPTs that they use, but this helps me to get, what's the problem? Identify the solution. What are your credentials, showing proof, benefits, features, whatnot. So I'm just going to highlight all this and then copy it. And that is a lot of information. So we'll go copy. And then I'm going to go into Base44. Now for today, I'm just going to show you normally what you could do is come in here and paste any app that you want to create. But I'm actually going to make it so that I'm going to add it onto my website. Now, I actually vibe coded my entire website because, like I said, I make a lot of changes regularly. And I have found for me, high level just takes a lot of time. There's like drag and drop, there's add this, and then things just don't look the way that I want it. So, what I love about this is that it's super easy to be able to add images or add video or whatever it is that you want to add to your page. It's super easy. So, when you're looking at this over here on the left-hand side, this is kind of like your conversation. It's your chat that you're having with Base44. So in here, you can do discuss mode where you're just talking back and forth and it's not going to do anything. Or you can use actions to tell it what to do. So I'm going to say, I would like to create a page for an upcoming workshop. And actually, this is a new tool that they added. It's a microphone feature. So I'm just going to do speech to text. Hopefully, it's not going to be too overwhelming. Okay, so I want to add this content. Okay, it's working. Perfect. And I'll just push enter here. And then I'm going to paste all of the stuff from the GPT because I have it mapped out of these are the important things that I want it to include. And I'm going to say, don't include emojis because I do not like emojis. And I'm going to say use the color scheme already in my website. Now, if you don't have a color scheme, you can, you know, give it those, you know, different colors. If you wanted any images. Okay. And then I just push enter. And what it's going to do is it's going to create this page. Now, for me, the way I have it set up is in here, I'll have it linked to my training pages. So like I have my free master classes here. And then this drop down here is showing you the different pages that are in your particular app or website. So while that's working, for example, I just made one super fast that was for high level. And this is going to be like an order form basically. So when they click here, get started with Go High Level, it will take them over to that page where they can purchase a high level account. Same concept with other trainings that I'm offering. I can add those here like paid workshops. Today's example, I decided to do it for free. So like I put my image there that I created on Canva. And then when I click it, it's created a landing page. And then when it says save my spot, when they click there, I've hyperlinked that button over to an order form on high level. And what I love about this is I can create a template so that it's super easy and I'm just able to have users fill this out. And then on the back end of high level, I'm able to create the workflows and send the emails. Okay, so I know I've said a lot. Sandra, you're the only one live. I'm going to check the chat and see if anyone has any questions. Do you have any questions?
Yeah.
Because I know I'm going super fast on all of this.
How do you find your analytics when you're doing a website that you created in Base 44
Uh-huh.
compared to how if you created it in another place that's known for analytics tracking?
Yeah. So one of the things that I found is you can set it up with Google. I
Google
think it's like,
Analytics?
yeah, Google Analytics. And so
Okay.
then it will give you like the tracking codes and you can just embed those through the chat on here. And the same thing, and I haven't played much with it because I personally haven't learned enough about it yet, but like
Right.
for Facebook ads, and Lauren, you might speak up to this on the chat, but you can add, embed that here as well. And
Pixels, okay.
the pixels, right. Yeah. So
Is that an
let's
integration when you said the Google Analytics inside of Base 44 that you're adding?
so I created it on the Google Analytics tracker, like on
Oh,
that
that's
side of
right.
it, and then
That's
it
not
gives you
fun.
no, it wasn't, but and then it gives you the code, and I could
Yep,
pull that up later if you want to see that.
that's fine. Thank
Yeah. So then here Okay, so I haven't added this particular challenge yet, okay? But the page is there. And so if I click this drop down, I can see that page and what it looks like. They called it visibility challenge.
That the one you just created?
Yes.
Okay.
And so that's the code for it. And let me see. I'm just going to tell it, can you open this page? Oh, let me refresh first. And sometimes it just hasn't refreshed that bar. There we go. Video visibility challenge. Now, again, this is just its first stab at it. So if I don't love anything, all I have to do is take a look and then tell it, hey, this doesn't, I don't like the way this is looking. Another thing that I can do is, and let's just kind of check this out and see how it came out. So finally, a video habit that sticks in just 30 days, no perfection required. Show up, be seen, build trust, even if you've failed to stay consistent before. And let's see, I think I told it. Nope, I didn't. Okay, so one thing, so you'll notice like this, yes, I'm in, let's go. The button is not actually connected to anything yet. And the reason is I have to tell it to go over to HighLevel. Would it be valuable? I know some of you use HighLevel, but Sandra, do you? Yeah. And I, I don't know how to say your name, who our next guest is that's in here. Feel free to unmute yourself. But if,
Okay. And yes, I use Go High Level.
okay,
Well done.
perfect.
Thank you for doing this.
Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to show you how I actually connect that if it's okay with you guys. Over here on HighLevel, I have created in the sites area a funnel, and I create a folder called masterclass and workshops. But whatever you're offering, you can, I just do that to like kind of organize myself. And I created a standard thank you page so I can always have it connect there. And then I created a template so that I can easily replicate that. So I just called it workshop template, and it's super boring. And I'll show you what it looks like. It has an image and then like the an order form basically. Okay. But I set it up so that it'll have the title, the description, and then what the purchase is going to include. Because the goal is really like to be able to create these and just be as super simple as possible. And again, it doesn't have to be a workshop. It could be a product of any kind. And Lauren, I'm going to show you how you link it to Go HighLevel in just a second. So I'm going to come in here, and for this, I'm going to recreate that template because it works perfectly. So I'll say clone that. And instead of workshops, I'm going to call it the 30-day video visibility. Okay. And then if I were prepared enough, but I had this idea, like many of us do at the last minute, to actually model it with something I was creating, I would have had my graphic ready, but I don't. So I'm just going to use what I have, which was made in 2 minutes by ChatGPT. So I go in here, I click edit, and now I'm able to update this image. So we'll grab this here and I'll upload a random image. I don't know. You guys can tell me what you think. I think this is it's a little busy. It's fun to play around with. So here we go.
Get really busy with their new images now.
I know. I'm like, okay, that's hurting my brain. But
Yeah.
the idea is there, and I will come back and fix it later. Okay, so then I have this form, workshop registration, and it's set up to include the things I want and then complete my order. So that part is great, and I'm just going to leave that there for now. I can connect to my domain, and then I can click publish. And so then when I go back, what I'll do is I'll actually add the product, which will be the workshop, right? And so here is the product, and we'll say add product. And you're like, wait a minute, you didn't create the product yet. That is correct. So what we're going to do is open another tab and just go over to payments. And this particular step is super easy. So if you haven't created a product before, you just click product and say new product. And literally it's 4 things. So we're going to call it a 30-day video visibility challenge. This is really helpful. It's like multitasking here. I'm getting stuff done. So then you could write a description here, and then you just pick if you want to upload your media icon. It's going to be a one-time amount, $49. And then that is it for now. So we say save. Why don't you like that name? 30-day. Please enter a product name. That's interesting. I've never seen that before.
Shorten it up, maybe? Oh, there.
Maybe. I don't know. Okay, there we
That's
go.
working. It
That
worked.
was silly. Okay, so now I've created my product. That'll be there. And then I'm going to come back over here. It's not going to be here yet because I have to probably refresh my screen. Let's see. Any questions while we're reading? Is that good so far? Okay. So then I
And
come
that-
back.
Did
Go
you,
ahead.
So do you, when you created the product and you have the price, that's already tied to your Stripe account that you've got integrated already automatically?
Yes, great question. And yes, it is. It's all done. I don't have to mess with the money. It will send it,
And
automatically.
you don't
to
have to do anything inside of Stripe because of your integration that you already did in Go High Level.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you
Perfect.
for that. Good question. I'm going to share with this. Thank you, Lauren. There's another person coming. Okay. So we have 30-day visibility challenge. When I select price, it's automatically grabbing that price for me. There's my product name, and then I'll click save. That is always a little bit tricky to me because I'm thinking in my mind I should be adding that over on the sales page where they're checking out the checkout page, but it's actually under this tab here for products. So again, here's my overview. Here's the page that I created, and then products. Okay. So I'm going to grab, and if you don't like the link that it created here for this, you can go and customize it. And that was the little gear icon. And I'm going to call this 30-day video visibility challenge. And now that link will be customized to my own personal domain with that as the end mark. And I'm showing you this because now what we can do, and even though it doesn't say it there, it is live. So here we go. So that is the hideous order form. So do not copy that like I did. However, for now, that's okay. So we're going to click copy because this is the link we want to attach to the Base44 website, right? So then what I'm going to do is come in here and I'm going to tell it on the visibility page where there is a button linked to this page. Okay. So basically now what I've told it is once it's doing that, come over here. This link is going to link to that. And I'll show you once that's done. Now,
Can I
if
ask you
you're
a
like,
question?
yeah, yes.
Now, I saw somebody do this in another app. I think it was Lovable. Is there a way to do it in Base 44 where you can create all of this, but take the HTML or whatever it's called and import that into Go High Level to recreate the web page there to make it easy if you wanted to?
You could. And so what I have seen people do is design the page, grab that code, and then take it to high level. Now, I personally don't want to do that because my goal here is to keep it as simple as possible. So I don't want to have to, because what would happen then is you have to know code so that when you go on to high level, that you could update that code if you want to make any changes. And so for me, that benefit does that make sense? I don't really know.
Sure. It's just something different. Yeah.
It
Okay.
it it for sure is. And you could grab that code under dashboard here and then go to code and then
Might be kind of fun to try it sometime just to see.
yeah,
My brain says if it's already there and it looks nice, if you want to change it, don't change it in the code, but change it on the screen. If it would even be, that would be interesting. Thank you for sharing.
right. Yeah, you're welcome. And so when I'm looking at this, to me, I would maybe like to see some images, or maybe I'm like, ew, that's hideous. I do not like that red. So one thing that I love to do is just snap a little screenshot, and that is super specific for it. And I'm going to say, can you please change this color?
Hi, Angelina.
Yes,
It's actually
hello.
it's actually okay. I don't know what it's showing up, but I've not found where to rename it. So my question is following up on Chandra's question. You said you prefer to keep base 44 away from go high level, not copying the code. And my question is, so that means you have to maintain a paid version of base 44 and also maintain your go high level account, right?
Yes, that would be true. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
What did
And
she say?
she was saying like you would have to have a subscription to Base 44 as well as a subscription to High Level.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I would say again, this particular class was just about how to create landing pages, but there are so many other things that you can do with Base 44, and I'm going to show you some of that in just a moment. And so for me, I'm making other apps, so it just seems like a good fit to have, this here as well, because there are different kinds of subscriptions. As you may have experienced, there's a beginner, like a free version that, and I think Sandra, you tried it out and you were like, oh my, it's only 25 credits, so every time, and that is important to know, every time you give it a direction over here, it's charging you credits. Now they did recently do some updates, and it used to be 1 credit for every action, and they have changed that slightly. So you can see here when you click on this drop down, it'll show you your monthly credits. So I ended up getting this elite plan, and it has 1,200 credits a month. That's a lot if you're not using this a ton. So there are other plans that you can use that, if you're interested there. I am going to show you I'm going to share this app again. I think that I put it, Lauren, you probably already have this, but I'll put it in the Zoom chat as well. You guys, I have to say you should be proud of me for managing all these screens. This is not my comfort level at all, because I'm like, well, what
You're
is
doing
happening?
great. You're doing great.
But I think we've got everybody where they're going. Okay, so that tool, what I'm showing you now is this was a sample, I'll use the word app that I created. So like my web page is one, this is a different one. And this is where I house all my training materials, for vibe coding. Okay. And so I did a lesson. I made a video, like what you can use it for. Here's like a really long 1 hour workshop if you don't want to watch that. But it has some suggestions. Okay. So what will you build? Here are some different app ideas that you might want to look at. This tab here for brainstorming and planning. If you want to create an app, there's a GPT tool here, because again, we talked about wanting to save credits, and Molly Mahoney shared this. So I, of course, wanted to recognize her, but she said we could use this tool, and it is an idea to app prompt generator. And so you can actually come in here, talk to it, and give it all the instructions you want for creating an app. And then you copy and paste that, like I said, over to Base 44 or any Lovable, whatever you're using, and it'll give you the app.
I love how you've connected a GPT because that gives me ideas on for selling custom GPTs, whether it's a suite of them and having, I'd love to see like I haven't done anything and I'm kind of nervous about the connecting to charge for a monthly fee that somebody has with me that with something I create on Base 44. If you have time, I'd love to see that.
Yes, I would love to explain that. And in fact, I know Lauren, I mean, there's lots of ways to do that for sure. And then, here is just a tab to kind of get some ideas of different apps that you might be able to create. And then, like in this case, I put a link here to my Amplify program. And so this is, and like Sandra, I know you have a school group, whatever, just as many places that you can be able to highlight and talk about your programs. You can just build that right in.
Yeah.
And then there it is, So if anyone is interested, that's a program that I have where we get together because I know that like content creation can feel difficult. And so this is just something where we have the tools and we come together every week and batch content and have like accountability basically. So if anyone's interested in that, I can share that too. Let me come back. Let's see how it did. If I like that better. Yes, that's much better. So then I can just, and any updates, if I want to add an image, I just give it the image and say, add that here. So Mary, I know you just joined us. Do you have any questions as well? And I'll make sure to get those answered. I know Sandra was asking a little bit, and I want to make sure she has time to get that question in. If there's anybody on Facebook who has any questions, I can see that chat. If you want to give any tips, I'll kind of highlight Lauren for a moment. So she's creating an app. I don't want to take her thunder away, but any ideas that you have that you were thinking like, oh, I'd love to create an app and I want to get some feedback, this would be the time. Feel free to ask.
Hi, Angelina. Sorry, I dropped off and I think I lost. I don't know what happened.
That's okay.
Is there a way to build an app and plug in your GPTs on it and people can access it from here?
Yes, that's a wonderful idea. In fact, that's actually what Sandra had just asked about.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't answer her yet. I was waiting for her to come back. So that's okay. That's a great question. So I think that is a beautiful use case. So there's two options of what I would say that you could do. One would be you create this kind of home on Base 44. In fact, let me show you an example of something that I created. And so this would be, well, I'll use this one. So just imagine, I don't know if any of you have seen this. Imagine that this is not sorry, that's a silly picture. Imagine that this is not holiday themed or whatever, but you could create a home and then have icons that lead to the different custom GPTs that you have created. And so this particular example, let's pretend this is a GPT. So I would click here and then you just hyperlink your resources. So you could hyperlink it to the GPT that you've created, right? Does that make sense? That
Yeah,
idea?
it does. It does.
Or you can also build in your GPTs here. And what I mean by that is so Sandra, we were just answering your question. Sorry. We said, like you could build a home and that would be on Base 44 that housed the GPTs and just hyperlink out to them. That would be one idea. And then the way that you pay for it is, or not you pay for it, but people would pay for it, is you tell them in the chat here, you just say, and I'll show you when we're in another app, but you say, I want to integrate Stripe. They have come so far that now the Stripe integration, you can just tell it right in here. I want to integrate Stripe so that people have to pay to get access
Mhm.
to my app.
Yeah.
Another idea is to
And if it's
simply,
like a monthly payment or something like that, you can set it up that way. And then if they no longer pay, does it just cut their access?
yeah, you have to describe that and tell it exactly how you want it to function.
Okay.
Now this is an app that I worked with, helped build, and it's simply amazing. It's Growth IQ, and this has she built in, so like she created a content team, for example, and each of the players does a different purpose. And so we'll use, I don't know, Betsy. So you look at this and you're like, okay, this is basically a custom GPT. We've loaded it on the back end with all the training docs. What makes a good blog? What are the essential items that we need to include? And so that is right there.
What is that link
This
for
one,
you? Yeah.
I can't give it to you because it's a paid
Oh,
subscription.
but is there a link to go to that?
Her landing page.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Let me show you so you can kind of get the idea.
I remember you talked to us about that. Oh, it's growthiqhub.com.
Uh-huh. And so in
Okay.
here you can see this is her landing page. And so she made, now the landing page was not built in Base44, but this is the landing page when they purchase, and then they're able to go and get their access to the suite, which we built on
And what does
Base44.
that look like? The suite that you were just showing?
Uh-huh.
Where does that look like? That.
So this.
So
And
she's got, because I want to do something similar. So she's built in within there the chat session. Is that utilizing base 44 credits
so
to
for
chat?
this tool, what you can do is connect your open AI,
Uh-huh.
API keys. You can
Yeah.
do that. All of that happens on the back end. So there are integrations that happen on Base 44 that you can use two ways. One, personally. So like I created an app for accountability and I connected my Google Calendar. You could do it like that. Or you could set it up so that it's using API credits for things like the OpenAI because, and this is a good question and clarification point, you'll notice here in my credits and my plan, and I
Oh,
don't think it,
yeah. You've got credits to build and then you've got credits for use.
yes. And so if you look on here, so it's
Integration
got,
credit.
yeah, so the monthly credits are for you as the builder, and then the integration credits are for the end user and they don't know anything about this, but as they're using the app, it's acquiring because obviously someone has to pay for it. So if
Right.
you connect your OpenAI keys, then you can kind of bypass that.
Okay, just so you just said. So if I connect my OpenAI key for say, okay, or my Gemini key or whatever it is, it's not going to use the 50,000 integration credits that you have. It's going to use your own. So
Yes,
that
that's
way,
correct.
okay. And I know that those can be pretty cheap. Some of them, like Gemini, is pretty inexpensive because we've done that with an app before, and we were shocked at how cheap it was.
Right. Yes, for sure. It's
'Cause
it's
they're not
amazing.
making images or anything; they're just chatting with it.
Well, you can. I mean,
I,
you guys, the possibilities are endless. Like this one, it is uh, honestly, this tool is flipping amazing, and I need to start talking more about it because it's so incredible the things that have been built in. But there is. She has a content team that is doing social posts, and when you create a
yeah.
post, you can also create the image that goes with it. And
So
base
is
forty
it
four.
using when you say because you add your open AI, do you get to choose? Am I putting like my instructions that I would normally put into a custom GPT and I create so that it's using the instructions and am I like assuming it's using ChatGPT, OpenAI versus Gemini? Can you like specify when you're using this chat to use OpenAI versus Gemini versus Claude?
Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. All of those are options. And in fact, they've just come out with, and I'm not sure it's even, here yet, but if I wanted specifically to use Nano Banana, I can, program it so that it's pulling that and using it.
You need to do more classes, Angelina.
I know. The
You not the
knowledge.
Bible co I'm telling you, girl,
I
your
know.
vibe
So
code idea okay, sorry, I'll let you go.
no, it's
Every
okay. You are
every
correct. You are correct because it's amazing. We're still working on the image part there, but this is you know,
Yeah.
creating social media posts. Like the possibilities are truly endless of what you can create.
Do you
So
manage this for her? So if there's an issue, like you personally, because I know it's a project that she paid you to do this for her. So if there's something that's not working, I see, is that an agent over there that you've put on the page?
here or here. Oh yeah, this is an agent. So that's another thing you can build in. So Carly, for her amazing instance, Carly is she's the CFO, I think. Carly, yeah, she's your strategy person. So you could say, "Hi, I'm Carly, your marketing coach. What would you like to work on today?" And so then you can type in here,
Wow, you did
I
great.
am working on a 30-day visibility challenge. And what? Thank you. It sounds amazing. Can you share what your goals are? What are you aiming to do? And then if there's any indicators. And so that is connected. So this particular project, like I said, it was honestly a truly amazing and an honor to be a part of. And so what I did is, and then I've done this for several different people, but we start by having a session where we talk about what do you want to create? Because literally the sky is the limit. So if you want to build something, you can build it now. And I'm a person, I have enough coding knowledge to know like this much that
Right.
I know how to navigate. I know how to, when I get stuck, use Claude or other tools to be able to hop over and be able to, you know, talk back and forth how to problem solve. Because sometimes while this chat is pretty amazing here and it's very high powered and they've done a ton to make it better, sometimes it gets stuck, especially when you get
Yeah.
into, deeper integrations and whatnot.
How much would somebody, okay, like how much does she charge somebody? Because I'm thinking of the charging thing to have her, to somebody to be accessing that type of caliber of an app.
Yes.
What does she charge her clients to have that access?
Yeah. So you can see actually let's give you the really recognize this project too. Not my
Yes,
link is
as you
not
should.
not correct, but anyone can actually you can start a 7-day free trial if you want. Madison has offered that, but basically I think the subscription for this particular app is 199 a month, no 197 a month. And you can obviously you can make up whatever price you want. And then as far as building, if you're a person thinking of building this for people, what I do is charge once we talk about your project and come up with an idea of what you want to do, then we can, determine the price. And then it's kind of like it's very empowering for the end user because like Madison, for example, because she's a graphic designer. I am not. And she does marketing. So my initial product, it actually did not look this beautiful, but she's gone in and said, okay, I want this screen to do this. And I want to put these down here. And so that's how easy this tool is that she is able to
Hmm.
come in. Like, for example, she added here, put on a banner that says the next office hours will be blah, blah, blah.
So she did the vibe coding or she told you to go do that, or does she have access to this tool?
She has the access because it's her app, right?
So we can
This-
add people to give them access with our own base. Oh, girl, really?
Yes.
Where do we do that?
So
Inside of our
that
Base 44 account.
when you're in a particular project, under the dashboard, under there's access under the settings and then the app settings. And then you can invite a user and you create them as an admin.
Okay, interesting. Cool.
So lots of fun ideas. Who else has questions? I'm looking at Facebook to see.
Hi, Angelina.
Yes, let's hear it.
Why do you prefer to use Base 44? I know there's Repli, there's Lovable, and more Corso and all of that. Why did you settle for Base 44?
Yes. And that's a great question. I think a lot of times for me, because I've just spent so much time in it and I've learned the ins and outs, and I'm like, it just works and it feels very user friendly. A lot of the people who are out there vibe coding, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. A lot of the people who are out there vibe coding all have their own, you know, places that they love. And they would say, perhaps, I know a lot of people use, Google, and it's really just, I think, your comfort level. But for me, I don't have enough background knowledge, I'll be honest, to know how to build the login screens and the things. And that was already taken care of with Base 40.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Yes. And Lauren, yes, if the users are an admin, they can absolutely change anything. They can go in. And so that when I'm building a tool for someone, I want them to have that because, I mean, to be quite honest, when we finish with the project, it's okay, here's your baby. And now if they want to set up like maybe a recurring, because, and this kind of even came up, we were talking about when there's updates and changes, like something new has come out, you could set up a fee where you consult with them and, each month you're going to do some maintenance or whatever, but it just depends on what you're setting up.
How long did that take you to build that out with her?
That was a very huge project and it took about 2 months.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And but that being said, obviously doing other things, like there's multiple projects that you're working on at any time. And Lauren, in terms of selling the apps on Base 44, I think you just want to do whatever you normally do for selling things. If you have your terms of service, you would have policies, all of those things in place. Again, you can just create those pages and add them at the bottom of your app.
Yeah, I've got mine in Go High Level, so you just hyperlink directly to those pages. If you're using something else where we're already using them.
So if anyone's interested, I'm always available to help you. I can help vibe code for you. I can do one-on-one sessions if you have a project that you want to do, just even getting started. So I'm here for it all. I would also like to encourage you. I'm going to start a 30-day challenge inspired by Jonathan, and he is doing a video class. And so I'm going to offer a video challenge group for January to be more visible, as you could see as I created my landing page. So I'll be sharing that after I get maybe a little bit of a better graphic, but I'd love to invite anyone to join me for that too.
Oh, great job. You did
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank
You were
you.
really good. Really
Thank you.
Yes. Keep doing it. I really think you should keep doing it.
Thank you. And if anyone has questions, just reach out.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.